Hi FlossTube, I'm Jane.
And I'm Amelia.
And we're here to talk to you about our May cross-stitching and crafting. So let's jump in, shall we?
Okay.
So I think I mentioned last month that I wasn't really going to do Stitch Mania, but that if I finished some pieces, I would allow myself some new starts in the month of May. So I am on a big push this year to try and get a lot of projects that I've currently got going finished. So I don't want to start too many and end up with just as many started at the end of the year as I had at the beginning anyway. So that's going well so far. I've got quite a few finishes already this year. So early in May I was working on this one. Can I hold that up and talk about it?
Made a choice by Carriage House Sampling.
Good job. This is a really beautiful pattern, I think. Monochromatic, obviously. I've had it for a little while in my collection, so I finally started that this year, and I got a finish on that this month.
And you brought the board.
Yeah, I brought the board. Been forgetting this the last few times, haven't I?
Yes.
So this is stitched on 40 count, I think it's Old Town Blend, and I used Midnight by the Gentle Arts as the thread, and the only change I made was down here where the alphabet starts again after this little diamond. The alphabet continues on again, and I saw that Emily from Eclectic Possessions had stitched her name and year there, and I thought that was a really cool idea, so I ended up doing the same. So stitched my name and the year, which I'm starting to do that a bit more on a lot of my cross stitches as well. So you know, that's probably not coming up on here, but there is just a tiny bit of variegation in this blue where it occasionally gets a little bit bright, but I don't think it's picking up on this. So that'll be a good one to get framed, because I want to do a sampler wall, and I think that one would look good on a sampler wall. So because I finished that, I allowed myself a new start, and that was this one.
Animal Cracker Jack.
And who's that by?
Station House Primitives.
Correct. And so I started that, and I also finished that as well. Not fully finished, but finished all the stitching. So I've stitched this on 36 count Tyco, and used all the cord 4 colours on that. I didn't change anything. And I will make it into a little, like it's a little soft cushiony type thing, which you could maybe put on a bag or
A sock, because
well, that'd be huge, wouldn't it? Or you could just hang it on a door or something. So it's quite cute, quite quick and easy to stitch up. It was nice. This fabric was nice to stitch on as well. So yes, very happy with that one. Then I have started working back on this series again. Do you want to hold this one up, love? This is the Frosty Forest series.
Country Cottage Needleworks, Snowy Foxes.
And this is the one I'm up to. Not sure if that's focusing. I'm stitching these all on one piece, and I'm almost finished the Snowy Foxes, which is this one down the bottom here. All I've got to do is finish off the snow, sort of fill in the snow across here, and I haven't done their eyes or their whiskers. I'm leaving all the eyes until the end because they're all French knots.
So French knots?
Yeah, I'm getting, well, sometimes I'm good at them and then sometimes I'm terrible. I'm just not consistent with French knots. But I will do them, and plus all of those, I've got all the little buttons that go with each of these patterns as well, so I'll stitch them on at the very end as well also. I'm stitching this on 32 count. What's the name of this? It says Like Art fabric and I can't think of the name. It starts with S. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm stitching it with 2 threads because it's on 32 count, which is no longer my preference to do, but because I was using the buttons, I didn't want to do a smaller count because I figured then the buttons would look out of place on here. So it's coming along. Just leave it to later because it's making noise. It's coming along quite well. I mean, I'm past the halfway mark now, but it's not as enjoyable for me to stitch on because it has the 2 threads. But I don't think it looks too bad, do you?
No.
Looks neat. You like the blue house? I think, you know, this is, yeah, I mean, it looks great. It looks good on this fabric, and I think it'll look really nice in a white frame, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll have to go and see. We'll have to finish it first, hey?
Wait, how many boxes are there in this pattern?
There's 9 in total, so I've done 5, which means how many more have I got?
4.
Yeah. So if I could get, I'll just finish the snow off and maybe I can get this one done in June.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Just got to keep plodding along with it. But to be honest, I'm pretty happy with my progress in May. I think I was, you know, good at getting some finishes in before starting new stuff. Now, I really should have finished this before I did another new start, but I didn't. I just did a new start. And the new start was this one. No, it wasn't. Where is it? Oh, goodness. Getting a bit unorganised. There you go.
A Wavy Ride by Blackbird Designs.
What sort of a pattern is that?
Halloween.
Yeah. And who helped choose it?
Me.
Don't show the pattern. The pattern's on the back, so you can't show that to the camera. Okay, so this I have, I think 4, well, I have 4 now. I have this, I have the Home for the Holidays book, and then I have that little Spell of the Moon pattern by Blackbird Designs, and had not stitched any of them yet. So this was my first attempt at a, oh my goodness, at a Blackbird Designs pattern. Thank you, Amelia. And here's where I'm up to. Oh, we'll let you pick that up, Millie. Thank you. Sorry, people. So here's where I'm up to. Almost halfway, I guess. So this here is halfway across. So I've just got to finish filling in this bird, and there's another sort of motif, a big one like that goes up here, and then of course doing the border, sort of coming around and down this side, and then I'll be halfway through. I'm stitching this one on 36 count weathered shingle, and it's really lovely to stitch on. It's quite soft, and I just find the needle is going through really easily. Maybe I've been doing a little bit of 40 count lately, but even on some of the 36s, sometimes I find the needle drags a little bit, and not on this one at all. It's just lovely to stitch on. So that's why I think I've gotten so much of it done, because it's just so nice and easy for me to stitch on. And if I'm tired, it's a nice one just to be able to pick up and do a nice easy stitch. The house in the pattern, can you just hold the pattern up again, love, and sort of show them the house? It looks like quite light coloured, and obviously there's some dark patches in there, because they use two different threads. So one thread is called wood smoke, and that is quite heavily variegated, which is all I've used so far in the house. So you can see where it is lighter and darker. But in here, where you see where it should be wood smoke, it is really, really light. I'm actually happy that it's darker. And I remember watching a FlossTube, I think sometime last year, and someone had said they changed the colours because they wanted the house to be darker. So maybe I just got lucky with the thread that I got, the wood smoke thread. The other bits that sort of, you can see where I've left a gap here, that's where you're meant to stitch with maple syrup, and the chimney is done in maple syrup. So I think it's going to look really good. I wanted it darker. I am stitching it on a lighter fabric than was called for, but it is sort of a greyish brown, like a very pale greyish brown. Sorry, I keep putting that there. And I think it looks quite good. So I'm hoping for a finish on this one in June, because as I said, it is stitching up quite quickly. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get another finish in. But oh my goodness, I'm going to have a huge bill when it's time to go to the framers, aren't I? Because I'm finishing all these things, and of course can't get them framed with lockdown still in place. So by the time things start easing, which they are starting to ease a little bit, I might have to stagger the things that I get framed instead of getting them all done at once. So that was that one. Then, so speaking of lockdown and things starting to reopen, last weekend my cross-stitch store reopened in Sydney. So they've been just trading online, I guess, and mailing things out, which I did have an order with them, and they mailed out what they had in stock and then some other things that they were ordering in. So, and then I guess over the last few weeks I've ordered some other things online, and then, you know, you can't always get everything. So when I found out they were open last weekend, I was really excited to go and visit again, see if my stuff that I had on order had arrived, and also just pick up some more threads. And it was really nice even just to be able to go out, because I think, you know, we've pretty much been in lockdown for 2 months now. So my patterns had arrived. So I got these 3 new patterns that I had ordered.
Morning walk by the Scarlet House.
Very good. I love this, and I think I will finish it as a little pillow. You okay?
Tired.
Yeah. I've got all the threads as well, so that's all ready to go. And I'm thinking I'll probably stitch that on the rest of the weathered shingle, because I think that'll look quite good on that. And I don't think that'll take too long to stitch up. It's 97 by 67 stitches, so it's not very big. And that'll be my first time stitching a Scarlet House pattern as well, so that's quite good. And then I also got this one.
The Scarlet House, no idea what it's called.
Charlotte Murdoch, 1815. This is just really cute, like a really cute little sampler with dogs. And we have a dog, so I figure that's cool. I have all the threads ready to go. not quite sure what I'll stitch this one on. It's called for a 36 count linen, which is my preference. I've now decided 36 count is my favorite, but it's only 70 by 86 stitches, which then comes in at basically 4 by 5 inches, so it's quite small. So I'm not sure whether I'll go for a bigger count and just make it slightly bigger. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet, or maybe just do it on the 36. I think these dogs here are done over 1, so there's no way I would go to 40 count, and possibly the letters down there are over 1, which I wouldn't necessarily do. I might maybe change that to something else. I don't know
like
yet.
Name?
Yeah. Or we could do our dog's name. I don't know.
I don't even know how to write our dog's name.
Don't you? Well, maybe this would be good. It could help teach you. But either way, I think it's really cute, lovely colours, and I don't think that'll take very long to stitch either. Interestingly, it says on the back, cross stitches over 1 and 2 threads are used. I don't know whether that should be cross stitches over 2 and 1 thread is used. I don't know. I'm going to have to read this again. Anyway, that was one of the patterns I had on order, and it had arrived, so that was good. And then the other one that I had on order was this one. I'll take it out.
A Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs.
Now, I love this one. I have been watching people talk about this one, and I don't know, I just love it. I think it's lovely colours and a pretty interesting pattern. Sorry, that's our dog that's wandering around. So this arrived, so I was super excited when the girls at the store said it had arrived. And because when I had seen it online, I thought it looked quite pale. Some of the photos where the colours looked a little bit too washed out for my liking. So I didn't order any of the floss because I thought I would want to darken it up a bit. So because it had arrived and I was in store, I just went, oh, well, let me pull the colours and see what they actually look like. And they're not washed out at all. And in fact, in this pattern, it doesn't look washed out. It looks really, really nice. So Amelia helped me get all the colours, didn't you? Mm-hmm. So we got all of those. They're not on, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Holy smokes, now you have to...
I just tipped them all out. Yeah. They're not on a ring, is what I was going to say. So I can't show them to you all nicely. There is a picture on my Instagram of it all laid out pretty nice. But yeah, so I picked up all the called for colours, and I already had some 40 count legacy fabric at home. Sleepy Bobo. So I knew I didn't need the fabric. There were 3 colours that they didn't have in stock, and one of the 3 on the pattern, it tells you there's a couple of threads that they don't actually use a lot. So they basically say you can just get DMC for this because it's not used a lot. So one of the ones that they didn't have in stock was that. So I'm just using the DMC, and this is the DMC for the one where they say it's okay to use the DMC. The other 2 did not say that, but I'm using the DMC anyway because at the moment it's just taking a ridiculously long time for anything to get to Australia, like months at the moment, like I'd say about 2 months. And for 2 threads, I'm not going to wait 2 months. So these were the other 2 fancy floss colours that they didn't have. So I'm just substituting in the DMCs and it'll be fine, rather than waiting, because I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for so much at the moment, and
maybe you shouldn't have ordered so much, you know, it came quicker.
No, it's not that. It's just because the ships and the flights are all not coming as regularly, and I think they're prioritising other things to put on the ships than cross-stitch stuff. Who knows why? Cross-stitch should be the priority. So anyway, I started this. I couldn't resist. I really shouldn't have, because I should have finished that tiny little bit of snow, but I went, I'll do what I want. So I started this one. This is Oh Joyous Day, the one you just held up, and I nattered on about for ages. So
You did?
46, I will never stitch 46. 40 count legacy, using all the called for colours except for those 3 DMCs that I mentioned. And oh my goodness, I think this is going to be my favourite cross stitch ever. I don't know why I have not stitched Blackbird designs before, and now I know why you all talk about Blackbird so much, and you always say that you should buy all the Blackbird books, and I get it. Now that I've stitched, or stitching Away We Ride, and especially this one, I just think, where have I been? What have I been doing? Why have I not stitched these before? So I've just started up. I started up here, so I've just stitched this little bit here. Colours are absolutely gorgeous. Now, the other thing is there's a bit of different stitches in this. So there's eyelet stitches, satin stitch, and Smyrna cross. So across here is the satin stitch. I don't know whether you can pick that up. I've done satin stitch before, but like tiny, like one little square where it says, you know, do some satin stitch here, and that's it. So I've never done like a whole row like that, and certainly where it's going up and down and on 40 count. So it took a little bit to get going on the first couple here, but once I got into the rhythm of it, it was fine. It just kept going along. So what I'm noticing is if I probably did up until here, and then I started the next night to continue on, and again, just that first couple took me a couple of goes to get it right, and then away I go. Then I'm okay. It's just that initial getting started. I was quite intimidated, because I think it is on 40 count is why it was intimidating to me, but as I said, once it got going, it was fine. I think I've done one Smyrna cross just up here in this motif, which you're probably not going to see, and I haven't done any of the eyelet stitches yet. There's going to be one inside this flower here. So yeah, this is going to be really beautiful, I think. I can't wait to do more on it. And down here it says Oh Joyous Day, and it has the initials of whoever stitched this. Her son was getting married, so she put their initials and the year they got married. I'm thinking of maybe, I don't think I'll do Oh Joyous Day, I'm not sure. Might just put in some more motifs, and possibly I might do my parents' initials and maybe their wedding date as a remembrance. But I don't know. I'll decide that as I get going. But my mum really liked flowers and birds and gardens, and this has got all of that, so it kind of makes me think of her a little bit. I think she would like a pattern like this. So yeah, if you haven't got this pattern, I highly recommend it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Can't stop talking about it. But I better, because it's your turn.
So I only did this like yesterday, because I didn't know what else that I wanted to do, but I haven't done it in a long time. The Beatos.
That's really cute.
It's a dog, The colour was originally supposed to be blue, but I only had 2 left. So I'm like, yeah, why not use green? I like green. And also, I've got like 2 more boxes that each have 500 beados in them.
Wow.
There's this one. And
I've got it if you want to.
this one is kind of easier to choke on.
Oh.
They are smaller, like.
Oh, mini. Okay.
So I'm not sure if you can see, but that one right there is the original beater size. That's a beater mini,
Okay.
and you can use them to make like jewelry. See, here's like plates that are attached to a little thing that holds it, so you can tie it, and you can attach it to. You can make it a bracelet.
Oh, okay.
And you didn't know all this stuff.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But after, I feel like doing one of these ones first before I do this one of these ones, but I feel like doing these 2 dogs hugging each other or
That's really cute.
playing.
They are so cute, aren't they?
Yeah, but not as cute as,
Not as cute as our dog.
yes.
Oh, that's really cool. So do you think you'll do some of them today, or?
Yeah.
So I mentioned I've ordered some other things. I have, I think, 4 orders that I'm waiting on, and all of them are coming from overseas. So one is an order of fabric that I don't know where it is. I ordered it back in April. It's not here. It's got no sign of arriving here anytime soon. I have an order with a store just north of Sydney, who obviously needed to get their supplies in from the US, and so I'm waiting on that pattern. I have an order with a shop in Tasmania, and that order is coming from the UK, and it was meant to be here and it's gotten lost somewhere, so that's delayed. I don't think it's lost. I think it's just taking so long to get here. So that's delayed. And then I have another order that's coming from Canada as well. And that one hasn't shipped yet, so that'll ship next week. So two of the orders are just patterns. One is just fabric, and the other one is threads and a pattern. So I'm excited for those to arrive, because it's, I guess, part of my wanting to try new things this year and sort of pushing myself a little bit in terms of what I normally stitch on. And so I'm really excited to show you and talk about all those, but there's no point because I have got the threads and fabric for some of those patterns, but it's no point showing because I don't have the pattern. So I think
you want to show them all in one?
Yeah, I think I'll wait. Just be patient and wait until the pattern arrives and keep going anyway on what I've got. It's not like I've got nothing to stitch on. The fabric's a little bit annoying because it isn't easy to get good fabric selection here. So I do like to put in an order with for fabric from the US, and unfortunately I just timed it just you know, if I had have done it 2 weeks earlier, I'm sure it would have been fine. But that's okay. I'll keep going on what I'm going, and hopefully my fabric will arrive soon and I can start some of the other things I've got planned, you know, because I think when I finish these up, I'll be wanting to start some new things. So my plan for June really is to finish Away We Ride and get another block done on the Frosty Forest, and then just keep going on my other patterns that I've got going on. So A Joyous Day and the whale that I've been stitching, the Plum Street Sampler one, which I didn't do any of that this month. Do you have anything else you're back at school. Amelia went back to school, was it this week? Was that your first week?
First full
First
week.
full week back.
But I have spent for the past 3 weeks 1 day at school.
Yeah, so last week they went back full time to school. We're still working from home at the moment. And things, I think next week, things are starting to open up a little bit more. So clubs and restaurants are starting to reopen. From next week, you can travel again, just within Australia, not overseas. So yeah, things are slowly getting back to normal, but we are coming into winter, so we are mindful that we've still got to be careful and, you know, monitor the situation closely. So it has been nice just to get out and see a few people. We've been able to now go to people's house. So last weekend we went over to a friend's place, which was nice, because, you know, we live far away from family, so we really haven't seen anyone other than the 4 of us. So it was nice to be able to get out and about last weekend.
And sort of me and Ethan got to see our friends.
Yeah, you got to see your friends at school. So, you know, it's not too bad. You know, we tend to stay at home a lot. We like crafting and stitching and watching movies and playing board games. That's pretty much what we do.
And video games.
Yeah.
Forgetting stuff.
You kids like that. So staying at home is not so bad for us, but you do miss catching up with your friends and things like that.
I
And
don't
going
like,
to work. I miss going to work.
I don't like the online learning. I don't like to stay at home and learn.
Yeah.
It's harder.
Yeah. So that's where we are at. It's getting colder now. We're heading into winter. Sydney.
Our winter uniforms now at school.
Yeah. It's not super cold here in Sydney compared to some other places in the world, but it's colder than we're used to. We're used to big, long, hot summers. So anyway, I guess I'm rambling now, so
Yeah.
we might end this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for comments, and I certainly got a few more subscribers this month, so that was nice.
And what about me? I'm a part of this.
Yeah, they all like you. They all comment about you. How much they like you.
Not you.
Oh, I don't blame them. You're so cute. They liked your maze. Remember you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Had a few comments about that. So thank you. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good time stitching. If you did Stitch Mania, hope it all went well. And we'll see you again in a month.
Bye.
Bye. Oh.
You still